there, today I'll be making this graphic which uses type, pattern, and a simple technique that gives the appearance of stitching. To follow along, you'll need Photoshop CS6 or another recent version of Photoshop. You'll also need some patterns that resemble material. Below, I've provided a link to where I downloaded some free plaid patterns. To get started, I will need to create a new document. I'll choose File, New. I'll call it Stitching. I want the width to be 5 inches and the height to be 2 inches. The resolution should be 72 for web use, otherwise I would type in 300. I'll keep the default settings for the rest and click OK. I'll select the rectangle tool, then in the options bar I'll indicate pattern for the fill and choose a pattern. I want a dark green plaid. I can scale the pattern by choosing a percentage. I'll choose 65%, then press Return. With the rectangle tool, I'll click and drag over the entire canvas. Next, I'll select the Type tool. In the options bar, I'll set the font to Arial and make it bold. I'll make the size 120 points. And I want it to be centered. I'll click on the canvas and type the word "sew." I'll then highlight the text and choose Window, Character. In the Character panel, I'll set the tracking to 50. I'll choose Edit, Free Transform Path. I can click and drag on the handles to expand the bounding box and make the type bigger. I'll center the type on the canvas, then press Return. I will choose Type, Convert to Shape. I'll click on the rectangle tool, then in the options bar I'll make the fill a pattern and choose another plaid pattern. I want this one to be lighter than the one I chose before. I'll adjust the scale to 94%. Then press Return. If necessary, I can go back and change the scale, but since I like how it looks, I'll move on. I will select the Type tool and change the style to Regular. I want the size to be small. I'll make it 8 points. To set the text color to white, I'll click on the double-headed arrow in the Tools panel. If I instead wanted color, I could click on the Fill box to open the color picker and choose a color there. In the Character panel, I'll type in 400 for the tracking. As I hover over the letter S, the Type tool indicates that it's ready to type along a path. I'll press and hold the letter L key, which will give me a repeated lowercase l along the path, which looks like stitching. Before moving on to the letter E, I need to click on the Sew layer. In the same way that I added stitching to the letter S, I will add stitching to the letter E. I'll click on the Sew layer again, then add stitching to the letter W. And I'm done. I now have a graphic that depicts stitching on material. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for joining me.